So I highlighted this comment because I want you to go back to the original video and take a look at the content. It was talking about when Tyler Perry originally said that if a man can pay the light bill, then you need to focus on his other attributes. If he's a good man, if he's a loving man, if he's a dedicated and dutiful man, then don't worry about him not being able to pay bills, right? This is the story and the narratives that Black women are consistently sold on a regular basis, as if these poor, downtrodden men are somehow of such great character that we as women are missing out on a segment and a population of men that are so loving, kind, and caring, and we're just overlooking them because of their financial destitution, right? This is the narrative that is being sold. But then we see in the news how KeKe Palmer is now dealing with domestic violence from her estranged baby father. And I'm going to tell you right now that a lot of Black women have been a KeKe Palmer in their lifetime. And if they have been that KeKe Palmer in their lifetime, they understand one thing. Men who are not happy with themselves financially, especially financially, are insufferable to be around. Okay? They're unpleasant, they're jealous hearted, they're vindictive, and they are very, very vile and cruel towards women, right? The Griot reports that Black women are disproportionately affected by domestic violence in relationships. And sadly, so many people don't even believe Black women when they speak on having dealt with intimate partner violence. Nobody listens, nobody cares. In fact, in 2020, when they reported the astronomical numbers of Black female femicides, where were the marches? Where were the protests? Where were the people coming out of the woodworks to come to Black women's rescue? But let a police officer brush a Black man's waves in the wrong direction, and baby, they about to bring out the whole brigade, okay? They're going to have the streets sewn up from the rooter to the tutor, marching in protest of needing to nurture, care for, and love the Black man and make sure that his voice and his pain is known. But when it comes to the pain of the Black woman, crickets. But yet, let Tyler Perry and Ayanna Van Zant tell it. We need to come together with our Black men, lower our standards. Don't worry about your economic unequal yokeness. Just love them anyway, and try to be more patient and more understanding of their fragile egos, because in doing so, you are keeping the Black family structure together. You're keeping the lineage going. And in some men's mind, you're keeping the legacy going, the legacy of poverty, but they say it's a legacy. Okay, so let's go with it. See, in one hand, we're being told to pick better. But how many times can you tell a person to pick better about a certain group of men before the numbers are so astronomical that you're starting to look in the hundreds of thousands of constantly saying pick better? Think about how many times on this app alone you have heard men say pick better as it relates to Black men. It has to be in the hundreds of thousands. So then, with that mathematical equation hanging in the balance, shouldn't it be some sort of critical thinking that lends us to the fact that perhaps there is an overall pathology and problem within this community of men that is going unaddressed? Perhaps. So this is Darius Jackson's older brother, right? You know him as Dro from Insecure. And when KeKe Palmer's mother addressed the domestic violence with his brother, he said to KeKe Palmer's mother, "Oh, I used to be that way," as if it's no big deal. And apparently, this problem is something that is a pattern within their family. Now, when somebody like Priscilla says that men are naturally prone to violence and aggression, especially towards women, everybody loses their mind. But yet, we keep seeing these offenses echoed patternistically over and over again. How many times can you look at the numbers and truthfully, honestly, ignore them? Exhibit B, P.Diddy. Now, while P.Diddy does not represent the population of men who are financially and economically castrated, he does represent a pathology that proves without a shadow of a doubt that there is a pattern of violence and violent behavior towards women when men are in situations of power and they abuse and exploit that power. Or if they feel powerless, they're going to do what it takes to reinstate the power dynamic. So, how are we to pick better when male nature has a propensity to be violent and aggressive? Is pick better really the answer, or is it that men need to be better? And I will leave you with this.
Baby father. Didn't I tell y'all that he was a bum? On the podcast, didn't I say that? I told y'all that he was a bum and she was doing everything for him. And that never works out. It never works out in the woman's favor, because when you do everything for a man, you make more money than him, you put him on, you give him a job, whatever you do. When you help a man when he's down, when he get back up, all he's going to do is resent you for helping him out, and he's going to feel emasculated. And an emasculated man is a dangerous man, because now he got to do something to show his masculinity. He gonna cheat, or he gonna put his hands on you. I'm telling you. And now we see it all unfolding with KeKe Palmer and her boyfriend. I told y'all that he was a bum. I told y'all that she put that boy up. I told y'all this. And I'm not saying, oh, I told, I said it, but I'm just saying, like, this is a perfect example why you never help a man when he's down.
Honest to goodness, Black women need to let go of struggle love. All these elders who are pumping into our head or trying to continue to placate the narrative of love a man at his worst, build with the man, struggle with the man, and there's going to be some prize at the end of the rainbow, at the end of the proverbial Hotep rainbow, are sadly mistaken. Because there are too many Black women's lives are at stake. There's too many Black women who are getting hurt by this. And there are too many Black women who are coming up scared, anxious, and fearing for their lives, dealing with men whose egos are consistently bruised by the fact that they are not where patriarchy said they would be. Even with crutches, guardrails, and a head start, they're still not where patriarchy says they can be. And for those reasons, they have this lisping resentment towards women, for which they will not go and get help for. So I am encouraging Black women, period, to be very mindful if you choose to be with a man who has less resources than you. Unless you are ready to exalt them to the level of God, to where they're not going to feel any kind of being threatened by you, I don't advise it. I don't advise it. There is a direct correlation between this terrible, shitty advice and the women who are coming up and dealing with domestic violence. We must let go of this idea that we need to mother our men into completion and help them to fulfill their potential.
Putting the divinity back in femininity. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit the notification bell to receive updates.